In Portugal. And I will be your Master of Ceremonies and panel host on this special evening. It is my honor to welcome all of you on behalf of the International Dialogue Center, KAICIID, to the launch of the documentary film, Justine, a KAICIID Fellow's Journey. This extraordinary film showcases an extraordinary individual, Miss Justine Auma, who began her journey through the Fellows Program in 2022. This film documents that journey through her eyes with the creative talents of the producer, Mr. Yves Briceño, and inspired by fellow senior program manager, Dr. Gevorg Agobijan. This moving film will showcase the impact of interreligious and intercultural dialogue to help transform not only the fellows that participate in KAICIID's dialogue training, but also their local communities. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Agobjian to introduce the film. Dr. Agobjian.
Thank you. Thank you. Before we start, may I kindly ask all of us to observe a moment of silence to respect the memory of the victims of today's heinous attack in the Ismaili Center. Thank you. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, welcome to this very special occasion, the premiere of a truly inspiring documentary film that documents the transformative journey of one of our very own KAICIID fellow, Justine Auma. Justine's journey has been nothing short of remarkable, and it is an honor to have the opportunity to share it with you all today. She is a shining example of more than 500 leaders that the KAICIID Fellows Program has worked with so far. She is a true representative of the religious educators, religious leaders, and dialogue practitioners that the Fellows Program is designed to cultivate. And her journey is a testament to the power of interreligious dialogue and cooperation. Through this film, we are able to see Justine's journey unfold before our eyes, from her participation in the KAICIID Fellows Program to the implementation of her own KAICIID initiative in Uganda. We see her journey to Nepal and Portugal, where she participated in several trainings, site visits, dialogue sessions, and we witness the impact that these experiences had on her as a person and as a leader. But what is truly remarkable about Justine's journey is not just what she learned, but how she applied those learnings in her own community. We see her work tirelessly on the ground in Uganda, bringing together people of different faiths to work towards a common goal. We see her commitment to building bridges of understanding and cooperation, even in the face of challenges and setbacks. The film is not just a celebration of Justine's journey, but a celebration of the power of interreligious dialogue and cooperation. It is a reminder that despite our differences, we all share a common humanity and a common destiny. It is a call to action for all of us to work together across religious and cultural divides, to build a more just, peaceful, and inclusive world. Justine's movie is a candle to light our surroundings instead of cursing the darkness. Before ending, I would like to acknowledge the presence of His Excellency Dr. Zuhair Al-Harthi, the Secretary General of KAICIID, along with the Deputy Secretary General, Ambassador Antonio de Almeida Ribeiro, with us. I would like to particularly and sincerely thank you, our Secretary General, for your continuous and unwavering support to the Fellows Program as a firm believer in its mission and goal. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare to watch this film, I urge you to open your hearts and minds to the message it contains. Let us be inspired by Justine's journey, and let us be reminded of the important work that we all have to do in building a more peaceful and just world. Thank you for being here today, and I hope you enjoy the film.
Where there is peace, everything else can flourish. Where there is peace, we are able to understand each other. My name is Justine Auma. I come from Uganda. I'm a biomedical engineer by profession, but I also work under the Episcopal Conference in St. Austin's Parish in Tororo Archdiocese as an interfaith practitioner. For me to be a fellow is a great opportunity to learn, to network, and also to propagate the knowledge I have about interreligious and interfaith practice in my societies where I live. As a KAICIID fellow, I feel proud to be a part of a network of fellows, of practitioners who are interested in building peace amongst people through dialogue. And being a part of this KAICIID fellowship gives me an opportunity to be able to be part of that group that promotes unity in diversity. Dialogue is an important tool to me because it offers a free space, an opportunity to everyone to bring in their views despite their different opinions, despite their different interests, with the aim of coming to a common understanding of each other without judgment and without prejudices. From the time I joined the fellowship program, I must say I have learned a lot. I have learned new skills, I've made new networks, but what is really key for me is that the methods which are being used to teach us, both in person and online methods, are really enriching, but also very participatory, and that to me helps me to also adjust on how I conduct my teaching and dialogue sessions with the community. So far, I have learned more about myself in relation to others, but also I have learned about other faiths and other cultures, both traditional practices and religious practices. Knowing that Nepal is rich in diversity in terms of religion, I was really expecting to see these religious sites, learn and understand their practices in relation to one another, and also learn how the different religious sects intersect with one another in terms of peace building and social cohesion. Having learned about the KAICIID program, the fellowship program, I felt the need to grow, to gain new attitudes and skills in order to improve on my current abilities to conduct and facilitate dialogue in my local communities. One of the key things I'm sure I'm going to benefit from the program is increased knowledge, change in my attitudes and practices, but also gaining a network of experts, a network of practitioners that can support my work, and equally I support their work, and together we achieve a common goal. I'm looking at it creating unity, increasing knowledge, but also empowering the community to be able to identify and manage their problems within their local structures. I'm an interfaith practitioner in St. Austin's Parish, where I started volunteering way back as a young girl. And my motivation starts from the fact that I wanted people to be able to work together despite the differences we have.
We have children here, several of them, from different denominations. Every Saturday, she's the one who gathers them together. He has been giving them a lot of teaching. When you talk of interreligious dialogue, she's the champion of this aspect in our parish here. She's really a uniting factor that has helped us to go beyond what we think. She has helped us to open doors to other avenues, that her teaching, not only for Catholics, but for the entire human race.
My most important responsibility would be to preach the gospel of peace, just not within the parish itself, but also to spread it out to the neighboring society. My role is to be the instrument that spreads that peace by educating and creating awareness in those people I meet in my day-to-day life. I love to see people living in harmony. Right from my young age, I've always tried to bring people together. So this is what pushes me to become a volunteer. Where there is conflict, where there is a problem, we try to solve this at a community. And if I can pass this on to the younger generation, it will do good to the society. There is no difference between us. But then at one moment I may not talk to him, just for a small reason. That emotion is what makes me come up with these lyrics and the tune as well. My hope is that when someone listens to this song, it can make them to think about their life and how they relate with the others. It's a song we're going to use to promote peace. at yourself. Look at your neighbor. We are one people. No need to fight. The young generation needs to learn what true dialogue is so that they can grow up, and probably in the near future we have a society that understands what dialogue is and can easily use dialogue to solve whichever problem that they face.
I feel happy when we are seated doing rehearsals like this because it brings unity and joy among us.
We are able to become one person, to break the enmity, break each and every evil spirit that would come amidst us because of different religions.
I really love being part of this team and making new friends through music. We keep on uniting us, so divided we fall and united we stand.
Just in the lyrics, like we sing, what brings us together is love. So if we can love one another, extend it to others, I think the world can be better.
There is already so much trouble in the world that we don't need to trouble ourselves more by living with differences. Coming together in peace, in a special way using music to unite us, is a very unique thing.
At the end of the day, we have to send a message. And the message doesn't care whether you are young, you're old, you are which denomination, but the message has to sell to everyone. We're able to share this with any other person we meet from here, outside there.
The new generation needs to know that where there is peace, everything else can flourish. Where there is peace, we are able to understand each other. The most important lesson I want to convey to the workshop is that we need to empty ourselves and be ready to fill ourselves with information from different people, digest this information and use it to promote peace in the society. And at the same time, I would like to see that the people who are attending the workshops, the people who are attending the activities and initiatives, develop that love for dialogue, develop the love and interest in helping the person next to them without segregation and without any fears.
What we have learned today in this workshop is that we are going to apply the same knowledge working as a team to solve whatever problem which may affect the community. It should not stop here, even if justice is not there, but we should carry on this idea of working under interreligious council such that it brings us together as religious people, such that whatever comes does not separate us. And we should continue working as a team. We should continue respecting one another as we've been doing in this workshop.
The second part of my initiative involved different religious leaders who attended our training workshop under the theme Interfaith Response to the Negative Effects of COVID-19 in the Local Communities. The aim of that was to bring the local leaders down in the communities to form a team that can go and help identify problems in the community and work with the community within their means to help and mitigate the challenges that the communities have faced due to COVID-19.
We've listened to the head of the home as the father, the mother and the child affected by the scourge of COVID-19. The child dropped out of school simply because she was aging. I would like to request my friends, part of the team, to come back in this home and then sit with them and see how they can help the children. What we have learned from Justine is that we need to work as a team. In case we identify any problem, we should come together and say that we work upon it and the remedy is God.
COVID-19, as the disease is reducing, people are getting vaccinated, people are trying to follow the standard operating procedures, but the effects of COVID, early childhood marriages, early pregnancy, school dropouts, loss of livelihoods, family breakups, that is a problem that is going to create a negative effect in the community for long. So I feel tackling it at this point would be very useful for the community. After the initiative, they have come to the realization that they can actually work together. Through the work in the areas, we saw this team that had built just from nowhere. Now they have decided to form a team, and they even have the plan to continue working together to help the communities. The mere fact that they were there, they were open, they contributed, and they had a way forward gave me the indication that we've started a journey that is not going to end. My project in Uganda in the near future, I believe, will create awareness about dialogue in my society, in the community, right from the grassroots. It could help us to have task force of religious leaders where there are real problems that are facing people.
It's a very great honor that I learned something, I participated, and I felt I have also delivered what I think it could be missing out of this program. I thank Justine for involving me such that I can express my feeling and I can add on my ideas towards this situation that has been there.
One of the most important tools that the program has given me is the ability to facilitate dialogue. I can identify where there's a challenge and I can bring the parties together and help them to dialogue on the issue and come up with possible solutions. I can now start initiatives which are cost-effective, which are directed towards the community needs. The program has also helped me to be able to identify interfaith actors who can also partner in helping in the same cause. And I've developed a network that can be helpful to me as I implement my initiatives and also plan programs as far as promotion of peace and social cohesion is concerned. Our country, Uganda, actually needs a lot of interreligious dialogue. Uganda is a multi-religious country where we have different religions. And at the same time, we have a lot of conflict that stems from poverty, that stems from civil wars. We have people with post-traumatic stress disorder. If religious leaders can come together in dialogue and help the communities to dialogue, if religious leaders preach the gospel of peace in every available crowd, in every available forum, people will be able to listen to them. It is possible to achieve peace if everybody could think the same way. If everybody could look at the friend as a brother or a sister, I know there is hope, because promotion of peace and social cohesion starts from small units and spreads to the bigger units. I can use the skills I've learned to spread that word of peace to people, but especially to be a living example of peace through my actions and through my interactions with people. People should see promotion of peace in whatever I do. If I can start the message of peace and my neighbor starts peace, then peace in the world is possible. We just need to remove the selfishness, remove the judgment, and we journey together along the path of peace. When I was told I was going to take part in this program, I had a mixture of feelings. At first I was excited, and then I got a bit scared because I did not know what to expect. But the enthusiasm to learn made me eager to be part of the program.
Justine Auma was selected out of 525 applicants to be part of the 2022 international cohort. She was selected due to the fact that she met the criteria to become a KAICIID fellow in terms of being a practitioner of interreligious dialogue, having multiplying effect, having access to grassroots levels, as well as educating those who will become future religious leaders.
Before I joined the program, I had a lot of expectations. My knowledge about interreligious dialogue was limited, and yet I thought I knew much. But after the training, I feel my perception about interreligious dialogue has improved. This program has changed my life in a big way. I have achieved a lot. I have formed a network of friends. As an interfaith practitioner, my dialogue facilitation skills have improved greatly. What touched me most in this program was the opportunity to visit the different sacred sites, including my own. It formed a new understanding of the other faiths. It helped me to understand why they do what they do. And for me as an interfaith practitioner, that helps me to work with a multi-faith society. Being able to visit different sacred sites, which I had never visited, and to feel welcome despite my fears, to learn from the different religious leaders in these sites, that has enriched me a lot. These kind of initiatives help us to understand in a deeper way the communities we work with. But it is also a learning experience. For every step we've taken in the program, there's always something new to learn, and it changes your way of thinking. It has given me particularly a new approach to interreligious dialogue, and hence I feel I'm a better person.
Justine's participation to the Fellows program was remarkable because she brought an added value with her own unique personality, with her humbleness, and always left the participants with powerful impressions about herself, about the work that she has been doing on the ground.
Being able to engage with an interfaith individual doing religious activism, religious work, or theologically engaging with religion is very enriching. Learning from people like Justine has helped me enrich even theologically, and how in my own community, through her learning, I understand how I could overcome my challenges.
On the first night we were together, I remember, I sat down next to her and we began to have a conversation, and by the end of the conversation she said to me, you are my good neighbor. And that perfectly captured her way of engaging with others.
The most important thing I've learned in the program is that we are all different, we are all unique, but these differences and the uniqueness can all be utilized to come up with social cohesion if we can only understand, listen, and learn what the other person's belief is. The mere fact that we come from different identities, different religions, different education backgrounds, different cultures, this forms a rich pot from which we can get experiences, learn from each other's stories, each other's histories, each other's experience, and build our own understanding, and henceforth help in understanding others and also understanding the society as a whole. As long as opportunity appears, every religious leader from any sect should attend this interreligious dialogue program, because it is an avenue to build capacity and especially to understand other people whom we've never interacted with. For today's graduation, I expect to just celebrate with my friends, a year-long achievement after a long training. I just want to have fun and celebrate this achievement. To be part of the KAICIID network right now for me is opportunities, is friendship. It's a group of technical support, both from fellow KAICIID graduates, the alumni, and also the KAICIID technical office.
Justine will continue her relationship with both the fellows and KAICIID, and she will scale up her initiatives and projects on institutional levels, and she will not only promote dialogue within her own local context, but she will also contribute to enhance dialogue within the African region.
After graduating from this program, my most important responsibility is to be, one, a living example, but most importantly, to disseminate the information that I've got from this training. For the future, I am going to encourage more people to participate in the KAICIID fellowship program, but at the same time, I have the challenge to sustain the initiatives we've already started in the community. This program is going to help me to foster interreligious dialogue in my country because it's offering me resources that I can use to refer the participants I work with. But above all, I am able to get technical support from my colleagues and also from the KAICIID staff who are always ready to help through different challenges along our work.
I wish for Justine good health, good success, family love, and the growth of her initiatives, because the work that she is doing both in the healthcare sector and in the interreligious dialogue sector are essential for the well-being both of her community and for us in the entire world.
I wish Justine to remain who she is in terms of sense of humor, humility, humbleness, professionalism, and the very humanistic approach that she has when it comes to decision-making processes.
I'm not leaving this program the same as I joined it. I'm richer in my knowledge, I'm richer with a network of friends, I'm richer with a network of technical people whom I can work with, and for me that is a great success. Above all, I'm a better listener, and I have grown both physically and psychologically through the program of the 1 year of the KAICIID training.
Look at the world, why are we fighting? Look at the nations, misunderstandings, there is so much hatred, segregation everywhere, it is a sad affair.
It's important to see all the credits also. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Justine Auma. The producer, Mr. Yves Briceño. And Dr. Gavor Gagobjian from KAICIID, who created the concept of this film.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sure, gentlemen, you won't mind that I will start with Miss Justine Auma. What was your initial reaction when you found out you'd be in a film about your experiences as a KAICIID fellow?
Well, my first reaction was a mixture of feelings. I was first excited. You know, it's nice to be in a movie, it's nice to be in a film. And then suddenly it dawned to me, I'm accepting a very huge responsibility, representing fellows, both those in my cohort and those I didn't know. After thinking about it, I looked at it as an opportunity to showcase the Fellows Program, both as a fellow and also showcase what the International Dialogue Center has to offer to us.
Was it strange to live for 1 year with all these cameras around you in 3 different countries?
Yes and no. No, because in my work I've been in front of the camera several times. I've participated in film, but this was different because with documentary, there is no time,
characters,
there is
it's
no
you.
character, it's just you, there is no script, it's real time. And I was joking with a friend, I'm like, this time I'm not going to talk in class because the cameras are in front of me. So yes, and of course, for people who did not know what's going on, they would wonder, why is the camera following this lady? What's going on? Yeah, so yeah, it was yes and no.
And how was the experience in 3 different countries?
Yes, the experience in the 3 different countries was very special. With each place, there was something unique. In Nepal, my first time in Lisbon, it was a destination I'd never thought of at first. It was exciting to be here in Lisbon, good, very welcoming people. But the training per se, the first in-person training, gave me a very special experience. When we went to Nepal, it was, again, totally different. Never, ever imagined I would get into a Buddhist temple or a Hindu temple. And I always thought Buddhists, it's all about Shaolin and this and that. But I met very, very calm Buddhist religious leaders, very willing to share information, very welcoming people in the temples, and that was quite an experience.
And you learned with all of them?
I learned with all of them.
Dr. Gevorg, what inspired you to make this project a reality?
Well, we are a growing program. The program was launched in 2015. It started with 20 people, and by end of 2022, we had 450 graduates from 86 countries representing 11 religions, not even denominations, 11 religions. And I had to find a way to somehow document the experience of each fellow from A to Z. And I guess Justine was truly a good representative of our fellows.
Why Justine?
Why Justine? Because with her personality from the very first day in the training, she impressed us with her sense of humor, with her professionalism. We were discussing quite deep and serious issues, and her way of thinking and her way of making decisions about certain quite sensitive topics on abortion, for example, on gender-sensitive issues, on COVID-related cases back then. We are talking about January 2022. We were in the middle of the COVID crisis, family crisis, and the role of religious leaders, for example, to advocate for masses to get vaccinated, so on and so forth. So we had quite serious discussions and dialogues, and she was always bringing a unique perspective. And this led us to think that she would be a good representative of the entire fellows that we worked with. And I believe we were not mistaken.
I guess not. We've seen the final result that is very, very, very good. Yves, I believe this was also a very interesting journey for you. Can you tell us about the process of the filming and the editing?
Yes, I can tell you. Well, for me, it was just a real nice and wonderful learning experience. I was learning from Justine before, and also for KAICIID and all the guys that work in the KAICIID Fellows program, because when you are behind the cameras, you can not only see the great communication and dialogue skills that Justine has. She's a movie star. She is, actually.
She had experience,
Yes,
she told us.
yes, but I think she's one of the most best interviewees that I could have ever had in my life. And then you see also the hard work that all the people who work in our KAICIID fellow program, I mean, all the things that I'm doing from Kiefer to all the other facilitators, and you don't have to do that much. I mean, I didn't have to tell Justine or to Kiefer or to anyone to do
this or
anything,
do that.
to do instruction. Yeah. This is a real documentary. I mean, they did what they do. Usually, they represent the program and they represented the hard work that they do. I just want to get on this motorbike with Justine and continue learning from her.
I think
and I hope
all of us, after we see the film, all of us.
Yes, I hope she will continue doing this.
How difficult was the approach to film this documentary in 3 different places, in 3 different countries?
Yes, this is a joint effort. I mean, there are many people working behind the cameras. There are videographers in each country. There were also people helping us with the production. Even Justine was helping us with the production. I mean, she's just so fantastic that she even participated in the production of the film. And of course, you have to deal with different nationalities, with different ways of working, but it's the same thing as when you deal, when you have to dialogue with anyone from different religions. So I think we did well. Don't you think, Justine?
Justine, when did you first learn about KAICIID's fellow program?
I first learned about the KAICIID Fellows program in 2020 from a KAICIID fellow who was undergoing training at that time. We worked together and he kept telling me, all these things you're doing, you qualify for this program. Why don't you apply when the next call comes? And he introduced me to the KAICIID social media pages, and I delved into the pages. I got inspired by the work the fellows are doing, their testimonies, and when the next call came, I was very fast to apply.
Was it everything you expected?
It was much more than I expected.
That's good.
Yes, I expected, being a teacher of religious studies, everything is pretty academic. So I was reading a lot. I know I was going to meet very educated people. So I really prepared myself academically, I must confess. And then I come into the program and everything is just down to earth. I mean, the approaches which were being used didn't need much knowledge. You just needed to be there and learn. And all the approaches were really beyond my expectations.
So what led you to initiate a grassroots program in Uganda, and how it worked in your community? What impact?
Yes, thank you for that question. When we talk about interreligious dialogue, in most places that I've read about interreligious work, most dialogue sessions are in boardrooms. They're in the top level places. And the challenges are facing really the down-to-earth people who may not watch TV or read newspapers, read how the bishops and the muftis sat and did this and that. Being a person who works in the community, I felt I should change the approach to start from down, where the problems really are, so that if these people can learn what dialogue is right from the grassroots, then probably the bigger problems at the top will reduce.
And what about the drama and the music that we have seen in this film? How did you found that strategy to reach your goals?
2 things. One, as a young girl, I always loved music and drama, but I did not get the opportunity to exploit that talent. So when I started working with the young people in my parish, I saw their interest and love for music and drama, and I was like, this is my opportunity to put into practice what I love, but not just to do it, but to use it to pass information and to teach people through music and drama that they can actually not just entertain people, but they can learn and also pass a very useful message while having fun, of course.
And you had. And you
Yes.
had.
Yes.
If most filmmakers need time to get to know the subjects they are featuring, what was your experience with Justine? How was it? It was collaborative. How was it?
Yes, it was just wonderful. Justine, we didn't need to tell her to do anything.
Yeah.
She is a natural woman of dialogue. She's a real woman of dialogue that can, portray all what she wanted to portray on camera. And of course, we wanted to produce a narrative that moved audiences. We want at KAICIID, at the communication department, we want to move people, because we don't only want to let people to know the hard work that we are doing in all our programs, but we also want them to participate and maybe to be more active in order to promote dialogue, to build a better world. So I think Justine conveyed all of it. I think Justine did all of it. And for me, it was really, really easy to work with her. It wasn't difficult. We didn't have to tell Justine to do anything. This is a documentary where she can just say
And the other
what she
side,
wanted.
Justine, how was to work with Yves? Was also easy? Any
Don't say
complaints?
it. Don't say it.
You can say it now.
Yes. I must commend Eve. Sorry, I've never got your name right. Pronunciation,
That's
forgive me
okay.
for that. At first, I thought he was very thorough, straight to the point, and very serious. But after interacting with him once or twice, I realized he's very easy to work with. His message is clear, and he prompts you to think, to create. He prompts you to actually move out there and do your best. And I appreciate that.
You are very
So
kind.
it was a perfect match. Dr. Gefford, what do you hope to achieve by highlighting a fellow's journey?
We would like to promote the culture of interreligious and intercultural dialogue within institutions and societies that we have fellows from. Through our fellows, we are able to reach to both grassroots levels, as we saw in the film, and also to policy level decision makers, because our fellows are mid-level professionals who have access to both, to the grassroots levels and to the higher decision making authorities. And we believe by working with them, by empowering them, by building their capacities on investing in interreligious and intercultural dialogue as an effective tool to peace building and conflict resolution, social cohesion, we can bring change to societies and institutions.
2024 KAICIID's fellows applications are now open.
Yes.
What advice would you give to individuals considering whether to apply?
If they teach or train future religious leaders, if they are practitioners of interreligious dialogue, or if they are religious leaders, they are more than welcome to apply. And we would like to receive several applications, particularly from Portugal. And we have already one fellow from Portugal sitting with us tonight, João.
Great, congratulations, João. Justine, the same question for you. What advice would you give to others who seek to use dialogue or other approaches to create a community change?
I would advise them to first empty themselves. Create space for learning, create space to appreciate the other person so that you're able to have that free and open space where you fill yourself with new knowledge and new understanding about the world around you.
What is your future? Your hopes, your plans? What do you plan to do?
I plan to continue with my initiatives in Uganda and probably spread it out wherever, as far as I can go, using all methods, whether social media, whether personal, using all avenues. But I'm also going to encourage more qualified people to attend this training program so that they can achieve this knowledge and experience I've gained, which I wish the whole world could actually experience it. But above all, I always say it, I want to be that example of peace and social cohesion wherever I go.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure we all agree with that. I would like now to give the audience the opportunity to ask some questions to the panel. We have few minutes remaining, so only 2 or 3 questions will be allowed. I don't know if anyone have a question already. You just need to raise your hand and someone with a mic will come to you. We have one there.
Agustin has over there.
Another one here. So, oh, the mic's here. That gentleman over there. And then here in the front.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Justine. A pleasure to meet you here in this setting. I'm Agustin Nunez. I'm the Senior Program Manager for the Africa portfolio at KAICIID. And first of all, I'd like to commend you and thank you for the good work that you've done. And it's a pleasure to have witnessed the film. In terms of the question, I'd be interested to hear from you a little bit about what you found to be the most resistance, or did you find any resistance within your community to the advocacy of interreligious dialogue, and what that challenge looked like, and what you did to overcome that challenge? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Augustine. One of the biggest resistances I face with a different religion is we have the extremists who believe in doing things the way they do in their particular faith. So breaking this stereotype has been my biggest challenge. In Uganda, the religion is also somehow affected by the culture. So when those two things are together, it's really hard to break through. And secondly, when they see you and they imagine, oh, she's undergoing a training, they imagine there is a lot of money that is being given to you to do these initiatives. So sometimes people are reluctant. They expect you to give them something small before they come for a meeting. That has been a big challenge, but slowly by slowly we are breaking that challenge with our community now, because we encourage them to work within the structures other than bringing them out to more expensive ventures.
Another question here.
Thank you so much. Well, I was about to ask the same, so I'll quickly change. But thank you so much, Justine. Stand up. My name is Maria Lucia Uribe from Arigato International. Wonderful journey, and thank you so much for this idea and for bringing us here to learn from your story. My question is more about the changes that you see, not on yourself. I think we have seen this and it's very powerful, but you have initiated all this work in your community. Are you seeing changes in your community? What kind of changes? And how do you think you can sustain those changes, or what can be helpful for you to be able to sustain those changes?
Thank you. It's crazy to achieve change within a short time. But one of the biggest changes I've seen is the religious leaders and the cultural leaders in the community, especially where the initiative took place, have started. We formed joint task forces where each task force has a Christian, the different Christian sects, the Islamics, the Jews. So now when there's a problem, it's no longer about the Muslims looking for Muslims. Now, a Muslim leader can quickly think, oh, this is a Catholic with a problem. Task force, where are you? There's a problem here. That's, for me, one of the most remarkable changes I've seen. We've had so far 6 community dialogues since the initiative took place, which I didn't participate in. The leaders initiated the dialogues on gender-based violence, and then there was one where they were trying to help the school dropouts. Then there was one on sanitation, improving sanitation and environmental protection in the community. I just received the reports that took place. And for me, that is a positive way forward for me.
We have time for one more question. There? Okay, there's a question. The mic will come.
Thank you, Justine. I'm Justine from the International Federation for Red Cross, Red Crescent Societies. I'm KAICIID Network for Dialogue member. Thank you very much for the film and the inspiration. Dialogue is a process of learning and unlearning. I'd be very curious to know what you unlearned in your process through the journey.
Yeah,
And through
difficult
your
question, huh?
Yes.
Good question.
The thing I unlearned was putting myself first. I've always wanted to be, my opinion should be taken because I think I'm right. I unlearned that through the KAICIID training. That's the most important thing I feel I learned. I learned to listen to others first.
Thank you for your questions and for attending tonight. And now please join me in a round of applause to our guests, Ms. Justine Auma, Mr. Yves Briceño, and Dr. Ford Agobjan. And for the applause. Mr. Davide Capecchi, Director of Program at KAICIID, will now close our evening together. Mr. Capecchi, on stage, it was truly an honor for me.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends and distinguished guests, it is with great pleasure and pride that I stand before you tonight at this evening's premiere of our documentary film featuring the remarkable journey of Justine Auma, one of our KAICIID fellows. I would like to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to all those who made this film possible. First and foremost, I would like to thank Justine for sharing her journey with us and for being such an inspiration for all of us that believe in our mission. I would also like to thank the fellows team who are present tonight for their unwavering support and enhancing the impact and effectiveness of the Fellows Program. Your commitment to fostering interreligious dialogue and cooperation are truly commendable. I would like to extend my appreciation to the film crew and to those whose dedications and hard work made this film a reality. Your talent and creativity are evident in every frame of this film, and we are grateful for your commitment to bringing this important story to life. Finally, I would like to thank all of you, our distinguished guests, for being here tonight to share with us this special moment. Your presence and support mean a world to us, and we are grateful for the opportunity to share Justine's journey with you. As we close this evening, and when we will close the evening shortly, I invite those who wish to pray in the prayer room, which is next to this room, and those who would like to join us for dinner to please cross the aisle and go for the dinner. I would like to invite Justine here with us, please, because we have something special for you, and I'd like to invite our colleagues to convey this small token of appreciation for your efforts. Thank you, Justine. Please. Thank you. Thank you, Justine. Please stay here. Please stay here. Stay here now. So, as we close this evening with Justine, I encourage all of us to continue to support the important work of interreligious dialogue and cooperation. Let us take inspiration for Justine's journey, and let us continue to support and promote the vital work that KAICIID is doing and strive towards a future where mutual understanding and respect are the foundations of our societies. Thank you all again, and enjoy your evening.